Hey guys, so I know it's been an absolute age and I'm really, really sorry. Um, it's nearly the end of February, we've got a week left, and the last time I made a video was on New Year's and I'm still in Canada. So this video is a number of weeks late and I'm really, really sorry. I also apologize for the hoarseness of my voice. I'm very sick. I'm fine, but I'm sick and it's not fun. Anyway, so to make a very, very long story short, work has been going really well, and I've moved into my place successfully. All the furniture is there, all the appliances are working really well, rent's been paid, everything's good. It's a really cute little place. It's like 20, well, if I'm walking regular pace, it's like 25-30 minute walk from work every day. So I walk to work and I walk home every day, which is really nice. And the weather is fantastic. Currently it's 13 degrees, no snow, no frost, nothing, just a bit of rain, obviously, because it's England. Yeah, the kids were great. This whole, like, an entire half term has gone by, and I haven't made one video, and I am so sorry. The amount of times I've made this video and then said fuck it, or the internet cut out, or whatever, I can't even tell you, but that's not an excuse, and I'm sorry. So, anyway, so a whole half term has gone by, a whole 5 weeks of work. Now I'm on my half term break and I'm sick, as you do, obviously, always. Anyway, so it was great. I love all of my classes. My 7s are adorable. My 8s, I'm not going to really have. I'm going to be team teaching / only really supporting Donna's 8s. Donna is going to be the new head of department because the head of department, she's off pregnant. Oh, she's not off pregnant, she's off having the baby, doy. And I'm going to be replacing her, but just not as head. So Donna, who's amazing, is going to be replacing her as head, and I'm going to be supporting her in some of her classes. I'm going to get a new set of year 9s starting next week, because they've reshuffled after some ability testing or whatever, which is fine because the year 9s that I had taken over from Katie were little shits, so I'm not going to have any of them, except for some of the good girls, which is going to be fun. My 10s are stellar. I love them so much. They are hilarious. I have a story for you guys after, if I remember. Anyway, my 11s were okay. They were typical disaffected, oh, give a shit, year 11s by the end of it, which was fine because I was fed up of teaching them. To be honest, they were great, and I was teaching Animal Farm, which I love, but after a certain point, it's like, you know what? I've already done this. I've got my 2 degrees. I aced this when I was in high school, when I was your age, and I actually paid attention. So, it's really up to you. I'm going to enjoy teaching this, and fuck you guys, basically. I didn't say that out loud, because I'd like to keep my job, but it was just basically, they couldn't be arsed to pay attention to me, and I couldn't be arsed to teach them, so fuck it. Anyway, they're going to be shuffled around, and I'm going to have a whole new class of year 11s when I get back next week, which is fine. But yeah, so generally things are going really, really well. The things with my flat are actually, my flat itself is great. It's really cute, and I've decorated it, as I do, and I'm sleeping really well, except for the fact that I have a drug dealer / addict living underneath me, and 2 recovering / relapsing drug addicts living across the hall from me, who, they're fine. They're lovely. I met them once. But the guy who lives downstairs brings around really rough company and drives me really, really crazy. I can't sleep when his friends are over. This morning, he let them in at around 1-ish, and then they were partying and being loud and crazy and obnoxious and rude and noisy and banging on everything until about 6 when they all left, and they had a massive argument. And there was shaking the door and everything. It was just a mess. So, I'm fine. I got my locks changed. Be safe. I'm living on my own, so I'd really like to not have to, deal with any of that. Obviously I am being safe. I don't open the door for anybody. I don't buzz anybody in if I don't expect them to. Like, Sean texts me first before he lets me buzz him in, because I don't want to be buzzing in strangers to the building. There's only 3 units where I live, but still. I'm the only single female / sober person there, so I need to take care of myself, obviously. And there's no judgment coming out of my mouth, honestly. Because, you know what, you are what you are, you do what you do, and you act the way you're gonna act and whatever, but I have to be smart. I'm living in a foreign country. I'm not married. I'm not, I'm not a mom, which is fine. But I'm living ostensibly as a single woman on my own, even though I've got a boyfriend who lives half an hour away. But he can't do anything if something happens to me, so I want to be careful. Anyway, so yeah, I'm gonna see if the landlord can do anything. The letting agency is gonna write to the council to see if anything can be done for my safety or whatever, because it's getting a bit ridiculous. I have to write down every incident that happens. Buzzing my buzzing my intercom 10 times a night, all days of the week. Banging on the door, yelling, shouting, breaking glass, having fights outside. Like it's not the greatest. But the location's fantastic, and I love the home that I've made. So I'd like not to have to give it up, at least right now, because the lease isn't even 6 months old yet, obviously. So, but yeah. Anyway, on a happier note, I'm fine. I'm fine. It's difficult to explain this to people. They're like, "Holy shit, why aren't you moving?" Because I just moved. So yeah, I'm gonna tough it out and see what happens. But funny story about my year 10s. We were doing some creative writing work, which I love teaching, and I was going around and I was helping some of my kids, like with the grammar and whatever, and giving them, just editorial feedback and stuff. And all of a sudden, my kids start erupting in laughter. And what the fuck's going on? So I turn around to where the laughter is originating from, and one of my boys has a fresh, unused, obviously just unwrapped tampon, and he's swinging it around his head like it's a lasso. And I die because you can't discipline a kid like that. Is fucking hilarious. And so I calmly slash theatrically was like, "What are you doing?" And he just like, "Right, miss, this is fun." And like I took it away from him. I threw it away. And seconds later, he had another one, and I hear him like undoing the crinkling, that telltale crinkling wrap noise in the ladies' bathroom. Women, you understand what I'm talking about. And I whip around, and he's got like 12 in his pocket. And you know what? There's no point in being the disciplinarian at this point, because it's funny. So I turn to him and I'm like, this is a natural part of every young woman's life, and if you need someone to talk to, I have been there. So if you ever need any help, just let me know. And if you need to use the bathroom for an emergency, just raise your hand and I'll let you go. And everyone is dying laughing. They think I'm the coolest teacher ever, just because I didn't actually do anything against him. I didn't give him like a C1 or a detention or whatever, just because I thought it was so funny. And he's now known as Mr. Tampax. So that's a day in my life at this school, and I love it, to be honest. It's fantastic. And the kids are great, and I'm really excited to continue working with my 10s, because I love my 7s and my 9s and whatever, but they're young, and I'm so much more used to, god damn it, I'm sick, guys, I'm sorry, I'm not very articulate. I'm so much more used to working with, formalized adult-ish, adolescence behavior, not just like the prepubescent is fine, like when I was working with toddlers and stuff, that was good, but I can't deal with young teenagers. Like I'm still getting used to teaching them and not trying to be a mom and actually being a teacher, but with the 10s, at least, they've got their shit sorted out, they're dealing with their hormones, and they have regular thoughts, and they're not putting their pens in their mouth and freaking out when it explodes in their face, because it does, because they're not stupid. So I really enjoy my 10s, and I'm really excited to get my new 11s. And really work with the literature side of things, because the 11s that I had before were, they were fine. A lot of them were actually really, really good and really responding well to me, but a couple of them were just like, fuck this, fuck that, fuck you, I want to be on vacation now, I don't want to be in school anymore, I'm not going to sixth form, I don't give a shit, blah, blah. And I can't deal with that as an educator, because it's just so disheartening, and it drives me crazy. So I'm really excited to have a class of just like lit students next term and for the rest of the year. So yeah, sorry. I don't even know how I sound in my own head. I sound like a boy going through puberty, and it's not attractive. It's very smoky. Just, yeah, so that's my life, and I'm really, really sorry that it took me 2 months to say that, and it's not even a 10-minute video yet. I mean, it will be when I'm done rambling, but yeah, everything's going really well. Things have been really fast-paced, and that's part of the reason I haven't made these regularly, just because if it's not one thing, it's another thing, and I know that I have to like build it in to my schedule. I want to make this work, obviously, and it's just like putting the time in with anything. So I apologize. I'm gonna really try very hard to make these a more regular thing now that I have a proper job here and I'm happy and I have an apartment and everything's good. Yeah. So that's everything. Like I said, I'm on February half-term break. The next big break I'm gonna have is in April. To make a long and somewhat painful story short, Sean and I were going to go to India, to Goa for a beach holiday, but that got stopped right quick, and I'm not going, but Sean is going. Everything's fine. We're still together, as evidenced by the fact that I'm in his room right now while he's at work. Everything's good. He's great, but it didn't work out on my end for reasons I'm not comfortable with discussing like this. So if you want to have a chat with me and talk about why I'm not going and why I'm effing devastated, by the way, that I'm not going, then we can talk about it. But yeah, so I'm not doing fuck all for the April break. I'm just gonna be sat at home in my apartment doing nothing, maybe doing some planning, probably sleeping a lot, which is always good. But yeah, so that's that. And what else was I gonna say? I had something on my mind and then I completely forgot what it was. My bad. This always ends my videos like this just because I'm an idiot. And I have no attention to spend, especially when I'm sick. And can you tell I have ADD? Yes, you can, because I'm ridiculous. So I will apologize again for the shitty quality of the video. I miss everybody back home, and I hope you're all doing really well, and that those of you who are in school do stay in school and keep doing a good job, because, you know, it's very important. I hope the winter's not that bad at home. I know it's a lot worse than it is here, and I have no right to have a smile on my face. Sorry. When I say that there's no snow here, and I'm wearing a tank top right now, and I don't even have a pair of winter boots here. I mean, I have a pair, but I haven't actually used them. I wore them back from Canada, so because my parents didn't want my feet to get cold, and yeah, it's gathering dust now in my closet. So that's what's happening. Yeah. So again, I'm sorry, and I'm gonna really make a concerted effort to do this more often. Maybe drag Sean into one of these if I make one while he's here, but we'll see. Anyway, I hope you're all well, and I miss you, and I love you, and be good. Okay, and yeah. Right, have a good week. Bye guys, love you.